Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a collective reading for the full moon in Gemini and the 12/12 portal that is actually going to be activated on the full moon in Gemini. Happens at 12:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on 12/12, December 12th. So, I was in meditation prior to this, and I got a very beautiful, powerful download. So I'm a little bit emotional right now, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. There are some major shifts happening, and I do really want to encourage you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't seen the recent videos, please do go back. The videos are meant to be timeless, but I'll put some links in the description that I really do encourage you to watch. Now, I'm not just saying that just for you to watch them. I'm saying that because they are very, very powerful. They're talking about what is happening in the collective right now, including the Sacred Union Special Messages video that I just put up. It's called The Paradox. There's another December energy update that will be beneficial to watch, as well as a daily energy draw where I channeled the choice point from last week. Some powerful messages are coming through, not just about your relationship and your connection, although that is a part of it, but about ascension as a whole. What is happening within us, our own transformation that is affecting our connection and our relationship, and that is thus affecting and changing not just the planet. This is so much stronger than that. It is changing the entire universe. The entire universe at this point right now is evolving. And it's evolving because we're evolving at such a strong and rapid pace. And understand that the universe is constantly evolving because we're evolving. As we evolve as souls, so does the universe. But what's happening on a universal level as we're evolving back into ourselves, rising in our vibrations, remembering the truth of who we are, that is changing the universe. It's ushering in peace. It's ushering in a different level of consciousness. Now, there are those who are in higher dimensions who have access to that higher level of consciousness. And what we're actually doing as human incarnate is we are bringing that to this planet Earth. But by bringing that to planet Earth, we are helping to bring peace and evolve the universe as a whole, to level up beyond what we can even fathom. That's a direct download that is happening for me right now. I had not heard that before. That is a direct download that this is galactic. This is universal. And as we're evolving on this planet and changing the paradigm of this planet, raising the vibrations of this planet back into Christ consciousness and unity consciousness and peace, harmony, balance, they're showing me justice being restored, then it's helping the universe as a whole. All these higher dimensional beings, all of these other galactic energies, they're evolving as well beyond what we have ever even known. This is a very pivotal time. And my conscious mind, it's very funny, my conscious mind is almost like, are you sure? What is going on here? What is that about? Because I've never channeled I've never channeled galactic before, but that's what's coming through, and it's a very, very strong energy, very beautiful energy, and man, it's only going to get better from here. It's only going to get better from here. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 12/12 portal, the full moon in Gemini, and the full moon in Gemini is going to have a major impact on the divine counterpart dynamic, twin flame, soulmate, whatever it is that you want to call it, the label, doesn't matter. It's the relationship, the dynamic, the soul connections. It's going to have a very positive impact because we're moving through a gateway heading towards 1221, the eclipse, which are two other portals, as well as the 2020 portal, which is we've been channeling, is massive because what happens right now, they were showing me a clock and they were showing me the stroke of midnight, and what's happening is we're straddling 12/31 and January 1st, we're straddling that time right now where we're kind of one foot in one world and one foot in the other. And it's going to be a bit of a transition. It's not going to be the stroke of midnight and everything's going to change, although we're going to feel that shift within ourselves. They're saying we are going to feel a transformation. We are going to feel a shift. And what they're actually telling me is, after a snowfall, everything feels quiet, everything feels peaceful, everything feels like balance has been restored after a nice snowfall. It's going to be that kind of peace. It's going to be that kind of harmony. It's going to be that kind of quiet before things kind of get ramped up again. But it's not going to be ramped up as in intensity. It's going to be ramped up as in forward movement, mission, service, your connection, your relationship. It's going to be, everything is going to feel better. They're giving me the word blessings. It's going to feel like blessings. But the shift, you're going to feel something shift inside of you that is going to feel quiet, like that snowfall for a moment. And it's going to be that bliss and that happiness that you're anchoring into. And I'll tell you guys, for the past 3 days, I felt nothing but bliss and happiness and joy. And it's almost like a shock to my system. It's like, should I be feeling this? I felt my divine counterpart. There was some heartbreak there. There was some anger there. I don't think it was directed at me, but I felt my divine counterpart. I shot him back some love. And all of a sudden, I just felt an overwhelming sense of love again. And it's almost like my ego mind can't believe that I'm feeling this way. It's almost like my ego mind, I've been so conditioned to feel pain and suffering. It feels like in this incarnation, and I feel so separate from the old me. It's very strange. I feel so separate from who I used to be. Like that was another lifetime rather than maybe a few months ago, a few weeks ago, a year ago. It just feels like a lifetime ago, like a past lifetime. But that's how this shift is happening. That's how this transformation is taking place within you. And it's going to change your entire world out on the outside to such blessings, to such beauty. But this love that I'm feeling inside of myself, I've just anchored into it. And it's almost like I'm not even questioning. Before, I would feel these pockets of that, moments of that, and I would say, okay, when's the next shoe going to drop? There's not even a question of another shoe going to drop. There's not a question of when am I going to suffer? When's the next trigger going to happen? When's the next challenge going to happen? It's this complete confidence and faith that no matter what happens, I am loved and I am loved and I will be okay. And I'm not just saying that for me. I'm saying that this is what we are changing into. This is what we are transforming into. This is what happens when you raise your vibrations. This is what comes from the work. This is what comes from the healing and the clearing. This is what comes from ascension. And it is so beautiful. So whatever you are going through right now, hang in there because you are doing the work that is leading to this. I am not anything special in this regard. We are all headed in this direction. We are all moving into this, and it is so beautiful. You're anchoring into this right now. If you're watching this video, you're integrating this energy and anchoring into this right now. Because I read for the collective that I'm a part of, and you are anchoring into this. You are integrating this. You will be feeling this. And do not doubt it. They're saying you won't even have cause to doubt it. It would just feel so beautiful and so profound, and you will not even have cause to doubt it. It might feel strange. I was telling my friend, I'm like, this is annoying. This is weird. I don't know what to feel about this. Is this love that I'm feeling this all the time? Because it feels like there's nothing in my external world that should be causing this. And Source is coming in and saying, well, that's the point, beautiful one. That's the point. Don't you understand that you are love? And so now you're meant to be feeling it from inside, and then it reflects outward, not because of what's happening outward that reflects inside, because that is who you are. You are that love and you are that joy, and you are meant to be feeling that all the time. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be some struggles or some challenges, but it means that you're going to be able to transmute it anytime you're feeling anger, anytime you're feeling sadness. Allow yourself to feel it. Don't attach a story to it, transmute it, and come back to this feeling of love, because now that you know this feeling of love and joy and happiness, why would you want to feel anything else? Why? And you have that choice, you have that power. Why would you want to feel anything else? And that is what we're heading into. That is what this shift is creating. That is what these portals are bringing us to, so that we leave behind everything that doesn't serve us anymore, including those old emotions of toxicity and patterns and behaviors and mindsets that say that we have to suffer, that say that we're meant to face challenges, that say that we're meant to wallow in pain. We're not meant to wallow in pain. We're meant to be abundant. We're meant to be joyful and happy and love and loved. This is the last full moon of the decade. Moving into a brand new decade and moving into a brand new world, a brand new mindset, a brand new us, a brand new consciousness. And the thing that made me cry when I was in meditation, Tim O'Brien is an author who wrote The Things They Carried, and it's one of my favorite books. I read it when I was in college, and it had a profound effect on me. The Things They Carried is about soldiers during the Vietnam War, but that's not what they're telling me now. What they were telling me is that it's a metaphor for the things that the soldiers carried in their knapsacks during the war. Love letters and grenades and, medical equipment and pictures of spouses and all these things. They carried regret. They carried shame. They carried guilt. They carried love. They carried hope. They carried promise. They carried fear. What they were telling me, and I'm going to cry right now. I'm actually going to read a quote. What they were telling me is that we have been carrying all of these burdens, not just in this lifetime, but throughout past lifetimes, for centuries. Ancestral wounding, lineage, generational wounding, generations of pain, generations of toxicity, generations of traditions and mindsets and patterns. We have been carrying the burdens and the pain and the regret and the shame and the guilt. We've also been carrying the love and the hope and the promise. We've been carrying all of it. It's what we've been holding on our back. It's what we've been carrying with us. And what we've been learning on this ascension journey is how to let that go. We've learned how to let go of the past and just be in the present. Anticipate the future with joy and not fear of change, not fear of the unknown. But anticipate the future out of an excitement of what's to come, knowing that the universe has our back because we are one with the universe and we co-create with the universe. Knowing how divine we are and how powerful we are. That there is nothing outside of ourselves that we don't already hold within ourselves. And really understanding, feeling what that means. And so now with this full moon in Gemini, what we're doing is we're letting go of the things that we've carried that just don't serve where we're meant to be going. We hold on to the hope and we hold on to the promise and we hold on to the joy and we hold on to the love, and everything else we put down. Everything else we let go of. I'm going to read this quote by Tim O'Brien. And if you haven't read this book, it is so profound and so beautiful, and I highly suggest that you read it. It's a short quote. It says, "They carried all they could bear, and then some, including a silent awe for the terrible power of the things they carried." It's such a short quote, but it's so profound and so powerful. Because when we think about it, all those things that we carried, how much have they affected our lives up until this point? How much has our pain and our trauma and our experiences and our relationships affected us? How much have they held us back or pushed us forward, depending on how you're looking at it? How much have they taught us? How much have they pushed us? How much have they forced us to grow? And how much of that is it time to let go of? The purpose having been served. Because we needed all of that. We needed all of that experience for our evolution to get us to this point. Everything is connect the dots. When you look back, you have a clear vision and understanding that everything has taught you something. Every relationship, every experience, no matter how dark, no matter how troubling, no matter how trying, everything has taught us. And it's especially the dark times they're telling me that have taught us. But it was for our evolution. It was for our growth because we learned from that. That is what karma is. Karma teaches us. And we're not meant to repeat the cycle of karma. We only repeat the cycle of karma if we haven't learned. But once you learn, that's when you stop holding on to it. That's when you put it down. Once you reflect, and they're telling me that's what November was about. That's what the Scorpio season and that Mercury retrograde, which was so powerful and felt like such a purge. It felt so difficult to so many. That's what that was about, that reflection. Now that you've looked back and seen with greater clarity and learned from those experiences, see what that was teaching you, now you can carry that with you. Carry what you need with you and let everything else go. Let it all go. You don't have to carry the burdens of it anymore. Carry with you the hope for the future. Carry with you the promise of tomorrow. Carry with you the love and the worth and the value for yourself. The confidence and the pride for how much you've carried, for how much you've learned, for how much you've experienced. Carry with you the relationships that still vibrate with you, that still matter to you, that still mean something to you. Carry with you the gratitude and the appreciation. But you can let go of all those other burdens. The things they carried. The things you carried. You don't have to hold on to them anymore. I'm really trying to hold back tears right now. It feels very profound, and my soul is crying a little bit because I realize how many burdens I've carried, how much I've buried, or how much I've carried. And yeah, how much I've buried within myself too, thinking that I needed to carry all of that. Now it's time to let it go. Now it's time to let it go, and what a relief. Now it's time to just unshoulder that burden, let go of that weight. And that's where our freedom is, by letting go of that weight. Sorry guys, I started to do the actual reading, but there were workers outside, and then my dog started barking, and a friend came, and there were just so many distractions, and it feels very much like I'm not meant to be doing the actual reading at this time. The energy in the beginning and the intro was very powerful. It feels like those were the messages that need to come out right now. So what we're going to actually do is the full moon 12/12 is tonight, tomorrow, well, 12/12 is tomorrow, but the full moon is tonight, moving in tomorrow at 12:12 a.m. So I think we might actually do a late night reading. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. You will see it on the channel tomorrow, so make sure that you do stay tuned. We're going to look at divine masculine, divine feminine energies, past energies, recent past energies, present energies, and how this full moon 12/12 portal is going to be shifting the dynamic. So do stay tuned for that, and give a listen to the full intro, because there were some really powerful messages there as far as the full moon as a whole. So I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and we will see you shortly.